Well, the rising cost of buying a home and uncertainty in the economy has made its dent into the affordability of buying homes in the GTA. Sales were down 6% this November compared to the same month last year, but are there signs for better days ahead? That is a question we've been asking for months now. Jason Mercer is the Chief Market Analyst at the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, joins us live this morning to talk more about this. So, Jason, let's start with the big question. Are there signs potentially for better days ahead for people looking to buy or sell?
Yeah, I think certainly as we move into 2024, I mean, one of the things we are going to see is downward pressure on borrowing costs. I mean, if you look at bond yields that obviously underpin, medium-term mortgage rates, they're already starting to trend lower, and that's in anticipation of Bank of Canada cuts at some point next year. And we have seen the odds of a cut even in the first half increasing over the last couple of weeks. And so obviously that would be good news for would-be home buyers, many of whom are sitting on the sidelines sort of waiting to see or get a little bit more certainty on the direction of borrowing costs before they jump into the market.
Also interesting, 4,200 or so homes changed hands in November of this past, just this past month, Jason. But what the other number was interesting was an increase in supply, 16.5% increase in the number of homes on the market. We've talked so much about low supply around the GTA. How significant is that to you?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, certainly on the one hand, we're seeing a jump in new listings in comparison to what we saw last year. But it's important to point out that what we saw last year was a decade low, more than that even. And so really what we've seen is new listings get up to about what the average has been over the last 10 years. So certainly, we always welcome a little bit more supply in the marketplace, a little bit more choice for buyers. And that has given some people more negotiating power. But at the same time, listings aren't going through the roof either from a historic perspective.
Jason, I'm curious, you talked about the fact that it appears and there are indications that, the central bank will start to reduce interest rates next year. But there's also, on the flip side, seems to be just so many jitters in the market, so many uncertain geopolitical things that could sort of turn things around here. It's not like Tiff Macklem has come out and said, yes, we are in fact going to decrease the rates here. How much of that uncertainty factors into your analysis?
Yeah, well, certainly it's a balancing act. I mean, borrowing costs are key to an interest rate sensitive segment of the economy like housing. But on the other hand, you also have to be confident in your ability to purchase and pay for a home over the long term. And so, obviously what we see unfold with regard to the economy and labor market is important. Obviously, we're also going to be keeping a close watch on population growth as well. And obviously the expectation there is that we're going to continue to see record growth in GTA population, and all of these people are going to require a place to live, whether they choose to.
And Jason, yeah, and that seems to speak to me about my final point here, or final question, I suppose, is the fact that the average selling price is still a little bit over $1 million. As much as we've talked about how things have come down, the price hasn't really collapsed in this market at all.
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly off the record peak that we saw a couple of years ago, and that's because there is more choice in the market and people have had more negotiating power. But it's true, with higher borrowing costs coupled with an average price over $1 million, there's still affordability issues for people. So as we move forward, we want to see more supply coming to the line to keep up with that population growth. Otherwise, we're going to get into this vicious circle of strong population or strong price growth coming back into the marketplace.
Right. Okay, we'll continue watching. Always appreciate the breakdown of the numbers. Jason Mercer, again, the Chief Analyst at Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. Talk to you soon, Jason. Thanks.